All right, this is the Fight Over podcast. Happens at each time the fight is over. Episode 2.
Hmm.
We got Martial Mind. I'm MMA Game, and we're doing the fight for UFC 185.
Man, oh man.
How do you bring that up on the website?
How do you bring what up on the website?
I don't know. Never mind. So, wow, the card in general. What are your general, as a whole, the card?
As a whole, I think it's one of the best cards I've ever had the pleasure of watching. I mean, every single fight, including the prelims too. Like I was really enjoying every single one. So it was a solid card, man. Two champions in one night.
Yeah,
Two amazing.
I agree. I was every single fight, like you said, was I literally watched every single fight too,
Hmm.
and even the prelims were good. What
I
what
didn't
fight
get
did
to.
you didn't see the Fight Pass ones?
I saw a few of the Fight Pass ones, but I didn't see the Pettis versus
Ooh,
yeah,
dude,
I
you
didn't
gotta
see
watch.
that one.
Dude, that was like one. I think that's probably one of my favorite fights on there on the card.
I heard I heard he got knocked out.
Dude, it was okay. So basically, the first two fights, we will probably just skip those. Did you see those?
No. Uh-uh.
It was basically the I can't even pronounce her name, Pachico, and yeah, but the one girl had way better striking and just ended up knocking
Hmm.
her out. The
Hmm.
next fight was Duffy, the dude who beat Connor,
Conor McGregor. Hmm.
and he just obliterated this dude.
Wow.
Yeah, so like those two fights, and then the next fight was the Pettis fight, where the Pettis fight was
Did
like,
quick question. Did Duffy look like he could threaten McGregor right now? Like if they were to fight?
well, I don't. You probably have to see more. I really don't know at this point because
Hmm.
I think he probably needs at least like another one more fight. But he
Hmm.
just beat someone in the UFC, so I mean that's good. Whether or not he can, I mean,
Right.
yeah, we'll see like one more fight. Probably we'll be able to.
All right.
Yeah, but yeah, it was vicious. And then the next fight was Pettis Benoit. This Benoit dude he's a little he's like he kind of reminds me of John Dotson a little bit with his
Uh-huh.
style.
Uh-huh.
He's like a fireball, dude, but he's like this little compact wrestler
Uh-huh.
who has so much freaking power. These punches he was throwing was like insane, dude.
Wow. What
And
what round did he get him?
I think it was the second round. Yeah, second round. Dude, it's because Pettis was doing really, really good. He was keeping his
Hmm.
distance and just really piecing him up. Like,
Hmm.
but this, but he had him hurt at one point in the first round and
Yeah.
didn't really, really push the finish.
Hmm.
So he let it, and I knew that was going to be a problem because this guy was throwing like already with just reckless abandon. He was throwing like the punches were full haymaker, like crazy home run punches, dude. And
Wow.
I'm like, dude, if you and Pettis was a little bit starting to brawl with him.
Yeah.
And then
So
in
he
the
got.
second round, he got he hurt him bad in the first, but he survived the first.
Hmm.
And then, man, just he started brawling with him a little bit and just got clipped with his left hook just perfectly on the chin, and it's done, dude. It was one punch, done, one and done.
Wow.
That guy was throwing with serious power, but yeah, that fight was good. Then did you see the other prelims?
Okay, what's that? I think
Copeland, Copeland
Copeland.
versus Rochalt. It was
Nope,
the
didn't
big
see that
boys.
one either.
That was the heavyweight
Mm.
fight. It was a good fight, but ultimate Copeland was
Oh.
piecing him up. But again, Rochalt was able to survive the first round. He was hurt. Second round came out, took him down, and it was brutal. And
It
then
was
third round, I think, yeah, he finished him in the third round. So wrestling got it done
yeah.
again.
Where I actually started watching was what's his name? How do you
Crookshank.
say his name? Kirkshank? Yeah.
Okay, that's
That's
the
when I
next fight.
started.
Okay, we'll
Man,
start on
oh
that
man.
fight. What did you think of that?
I thought it was phenomenal that he got submitted. That's what I thought about that fight.
I
What did
mean,
he?
he
Well, he
he
was
had.
he
I'm
was
pretty sure he's been submitted before.
but he was caught with a it was a rear naked choke, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Daryush.
I mean, I didn't really think his striking was that effective in that fight either. Like he wasn't really doing much on the feet.
Yeah,
I really
I think what it might have been. Uh, I think it was he had a bad weight cut, dude. I think that played a factor. He actually missed weight for this fight, but
really.
yeah, he was. I know he was just like kind of didn't seem as explosive as he was in past
Mhm.
fights. Um, they
Maybe he
have it
should
listed
move
as
up.
155, but I don't think he made. Actually, I don't know. Someone in the chat will probably say it, but I think he was like enough pounds over to where he gave up a percent of his purse.
That's messed up.
Yeah, so you never know. That might have played a factor, but ultimately, I mean, it was just the grappling. The dude got him down and
Hmm.
just really submitted him pretty
Outclassed him.
easily.
Yeah.
So that's that fight. Dariush is I don't know if he's undefeated.
Not sure.
No, he's like 10-1. But man, that guy's jujitsu is crazy. So that was that fight. Next fight, did you see? It was
Yes, I did. This is where it starts to get fun
Elias
here.
Elias Theodoro.
Oh, okay. The guy is in shape. He has incredible, conditioning and stamina. His striking is really awkward though. Like I was watching him on the feet, and he was the way he was moving, the way he was throwing those strikes. It was really,
Did
really awkward, and he was really, really slow. And I think he pretty much won that fight by simply being, in shape, pretty much, because his stand up wasn't that effective, and I think he broke the guy's rib too,
Oh,
right?
no, it was his forearm, his arm.
Oh
He
yeah, yeah,
snapped it because he
yeah,
blocked the head kick and it freaking snapped his forearm.
yeah, man. It's one of those things that I keep saying. I don't know why these fighters block kicks like that with one arm. You know what I mean? It's like
Well, I mean, he had to, at that he had to throw something in the way of it, or else it was gonna hit his face.
but try to block it with both arms, because
Yeah,
when you're blocking it with one arm like that, you run a risk of getting your arm
I think it
broken.
was the way landed that is because he, like you said, he was so awkward with his striking. He would just throw up a head kick, and the guy like
Yeah,
didn't even expect it. So last second, he kind of threw up his arm because he didn't see that coming, and so he didn't have time, I think, to block it with both arms, right? Because it was so just yeah. But that guy was he looked huge too, and like
yes. He had a
he
belly. It had like this little gut. Is
dude, the
he?
guy looks I don't know what's up with this guy, but he looked like if you heard what I said earlier in the stream, but I said this
What's that?
he looked like he was just playing around like he was a kid just playing around like karate moves like
Yeah, yeah, that's what he looked like. It's
he was
almost
playing in
like
the
he's not in a
cage.
fight. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
almost
what it
like
is.
it's not.
It didn't look like it. I'm like, and the other guy looked confused by it too, because he was like, Is this guy for real?" Like that's what it looked like. He couldn't
Yeah,
believe it. He
he's
was
just
moving around,
way.
throwing up his arms like karate stance, and like it's like this dude was just playing in that cage.
Yeah, it's way too awkward too. Just way too awkward. And his strikes, like the speed of his strikes will change. He'll throw some of them really, really slow and sluggish, and then he'll fire off one really quickly. So it, yeah, it's no surprise that he really didn't see
I
that kick
I
coming in time.
really like that dude's style. It's so creative and like,
I don't know.
dude,
It's
I like it, man, because it's like, you could just tell that the guy it caught the guy off guard. He wasn't ready for that.
I just don't think he's gonna be successful with that awkward stand-up style for too long. I mean, when he steps in there with a guy with good conditioning and good striking, he's gonna get caught. He's definitely gonna get caught with something. He
We'll
needs to
see.
really tighten up his striking. He needs to tighten it
Oh,
up.
I think it'll definitely continue to get better, but it's sort of like OSP. OSP has like a
Yeah,
crazy style, but it's effective even at high levels in the
it
UFC, so
is.
it's crazy. Um, all right, next fight. That fight was pretty crazy. It got finished in the
Mhm.
second round. Next fight was Ross Pearson, Sam Stout.
Oh, amazing performance by Ross Pearson. Man, that guy is the slip and rip master in the
Yeah, he was
UFC.
ripping the body, huh?
Oh my goodness, dude. The way that guy slips punches and then comes back with counters. It's almost like what you see Mike Tyson do, in the ring right there. That left hook that he got him with, just textbook.
Hmm.
Brilliant. Just slipped, ducked, came up with a left hand and just flawed him. It was amazing.
and that it was fight was interesting because it was like I kind of just you just kind of knew that it was not gonna be it was a straight gonna be a kickboxing match
Yes,
from the
yes.
start. You just knew
Mm-hmm.
that neither
Mm-hmm.
of them went for anything
No, they were
at
not
any
interested in
point.
grappling. They wanted a bang.
Yeah, they didn't go for a clinch. They didn't even attempt a takedown. They didn't even. It was just a straight up kickboxing. They
Yeah,
both just hey.
it's always dangerous striking with Ross Pearson. It's always dangerous striking with that guy because he has a lot of power. He really
Yeah,
does.
I just didn't know with the fight. I really didn't know. I know they both hit hard and they both,
Mhm.
have been knocked out before. So it was sort of like I didn't really know who was gonna land, but technically Pearson really pieced him up.
Yeah, he's more technical. He's way more technical with his boxing. So I pretty much expected him to win the fight. I just didn't know it would end in such brutal knockout. That's not what I thought would happen.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's well, Sam Stout. We'll see. I don't know. He has been knocked out quite a bit. I don't know. Maybe they might give him another fight. I don't know. There's a lot of people in lightweight, but
Hmm.
well, next fight is the pay-per-view. Pearson was just yeah. He looked good. So that's that fight. Next fight, Cejudo versus Carriazo.
Oh my goodness. I know that one really got to you, dude. Because I
Did you see what
I
I
know you're a
tweeted
fan. No, I didn't, but I know you're a fan of Carriazo.
from UFC 3?
Yeah, dude. You were reckless with that guy.
Yeah, yeah. I made a montage of him actually. I need to rewatch that, but it from the game. But yeah, it was just you know,
He just got dominated. It's that
isn't that
simple.
guy? Didn't they say he was a gold medal Olympics
Yes, gold medal
wrestling?
Olympics. I mean, yeah, nothing else could have. There was no other way that fight would have gone. I mean, you got an extremely
Yeah, if
dominant
you
grappler in there. It's just
yeah, if you guys missed it, basically it was 3 rounds of just he literally
domination
could take him down at will. Like anytime
whenever
he
he
felt
wanted
like
to.
it, he could take
Yeah,
him down. So
yeah.
it was just takedowns, dominating fight, and then yeah,
I honestly
Carriaso.
lost, dude. I honestly lost interest in that fight because it was just like, dude, he can't stop the takedowns.
Yeah,
He
so
can't knock him out.
Cejudo won, but the question is now, do you think Cejudo could challenge for Mighty Mouse?
Do I no? Well, I think he has the skills to threaten Mighty Mouse, but Demetrius Johnson is way too smart. He's way
And
too
his
technical
striking.
and way too fast.
Yeah.
The guy's in and out. It's just I doubt that he's gonna get dominated like that in the wrestling category.
Yeah, I wonder if the UFC is going to give him the title shot right away or they'll try to match him up with someone else to try to get his striking a little better.
Yeah, I think he should have like maybe two more fights before he gets to
He didn't look
Demetrius.
bad though. He didn't look bad at all. He looked incredibly good. Like he was setting up the takedowns good
Hmm.
and,
And the interesting
that's going to be
thing
tough to
is
beat.
what I like about the guy is that he was very critical of that performance, even though it was a really dominant performance, but he was really critical of it. He said he didn't like his performance. He wanted to finish. He wanted to improve on it. He wanted to do better. I like fighters like that. And it's fighters like that that really, really improve. He's gonna
Yeah.
go back and he's gonna work on his stand-up, man. And
Yeah.
when you have incredible wrestling like that and you have really
Yeah.
improved stand-up, dude.
His movement and speed, if you tack on just some killer striking, good luck. I mean, no, good luck with that.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Definitely keeping my eye on him.
Hmm. He was moving good, man, and he looked and like I like it. He came out to the Olympic music. He had the gold shorts on. It was like
Yeah.
he looked like a boxer sort of the way he was kind of
Yes.
moving,
Yes.
and he was just relentless. Well, he dominated that fight, and yeah, we'll see what they do with him next. Next fight was the heavyweights Nelson Overeem.
Man, oh man. Dude, my heart was pounding the whole entire time for
What a
Overeem.
fight!
Dude,
That was a
Nelson
good
was
fight.
just it was amazing. I think in my opinion that's the most impressive performance by Overeem that I've ever seen. I mean,
Yeah,
forget what he did in Strike Force, forget what he did in K1.
that
That
was
fight
his
was just the
striking.
most.
That was
Yes.
his old school, just
Yes.
killer striking, dude.
Yeah, dude. The way he was leaping in with those knees. Oh my gosh.
That's old school Overeem right there,
Yeah.
man. And
Yeah.
Yo, that's deadly. But I think the thing is I think what he said in the post-fight press conference, he said that he now he's with a good camp and they're making game plans. And in between rounds, he said they're giving him good stuff. They're like, no, 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 don't do this.
Yeah.
Stick to
Yes.
the thing. He has crazy
Yes.
power, and they're telling him. So as long as he can keep that chin, and just stick with the game plan, which I think is
Hmm.
actually really, because a lot of fighters they can't stick with it and they get
Yeah.
clipped,
Yeah.
like over him in the Travis Brown fight, exactly.
He said he really wanted to get to be more aggressive, but hey, that's how you get knocked out. And
Because
like
I sort of forgot about that fight too, the Travis Brown fight. He
he was getting,
destroyed Travis
yeah,
Brown.
yeah, he was obliterating him.
Like
And
it
then,
was like unbelievable that
mhm,
Travis Brown was even alive.
yeah,
And but then he got caught. But I think some people forget about that. But man, for some
and
reason, I just thought Nelson would clip him.
he did. Nelson actually caught
Y-
him a few times. He even dropped him with a left hand. I think it was in the third round.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
dropped,
that where
yeah,
he rolled back. Yeah, but it was
yeah.
too late.
But how about the way Overeem was covering up though against like that, when he was on the cage? There was literally no opening for Nelson to
That
land
was
anything.
yeah, that was interesting. I'm like, wow, he's really kind of just baiting him in here. He's just
Yeah.
gassing him out.
Yeah, he just stood there with his hands just tight, real tight, turtled up like that. Pretty dope. Almost like
That
the
was
block
good
in
blocking.
UFC.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And Nelson was just like sitting there looking. Like Nelson was
Yeah.
doing the right thing too. He wasn't gonna just throw into the block. He was kind of
Yeah.
looking for something. So it was just sort of like a stalemate. It was wild. Um, I that's rare to see in MMA.
Then he called out Verdum and Kane. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he
Well,
can.
he's
He can.
beaten Verdum
That
twice,
was
right?
he beat him once, and I think he. I don't know. I'm not sure. I remember one
Yeah,
fight
yeah,
correctly. I
yeah.
remember one fight clearly where Verdum kept like get it fall on his back over and over again.
Yeah, and Verdum stuck to the game plan and beat him. Like Verdum is no joke, man. He really isn't, but it's that he's just got to stay with the game plan. He has to stay with it because the heavyweights, you know, I don't know. It's sweet, man. I love seeing he's on a win streak now, man. It's awesome.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Verdum is on a win streak. So, man, I wonder who they're gonna give him next. I don't even know, but yeah, that
Wait,
fight was
Verdum
great.
or Overeem?
Over him, yeah, I said
Well, they
Verdum.
were talking about JDS during the post-fight press conference. They were talking about. I mean, he kind of dodged it. He kind of dodged it a little bit, like, I don't know. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna take a break, but they'll throw him in there with JDS. Watch, definitely.
Yeah, it could happen.
Yeah, it's been a
That
long
fight
time
was
coming.
that fight was definitely entertaining for sure.
Yes, it
Great
was.
fight. But basically Nelson, I mean, just got worked like you said, the knees. He worked him
Yeah,
with the
man.
striking and just the knees. He actually attacked Nelson's body, which no one has really done that
Yes,
much.
yes, yes.
And it's a
And
big
then,
target, dude.
yeah, it is. It is. And then he was using those obliques too. You can just tell that guy was training with Mike Winklejohn, man. You could tell. You could tell. He had that little distance thing going where he just kept that smart distance, using rangy strikes. I loved it. Loved every second of it.
Yeah, that was a sweet fight. All right, so Overeem wins that one. Nelson loses. The next fight was Hendricks Brown.
Oh,
This fight's pretty
boy, oh
pretty
boy.
simple. Not much
John
to really
Hand
say.
wrestling. That's all you have to say about that one. I mean,
Domination.
it was very similar to the fight he had with Carlos Condit, except Carlos was much better on the bottom against Hendricks than Brown was. I mean, I don't know why Brown kept tying up with Hendricks. I mean, I know the guy's a wild man and he likes to get in brawls and he likes to fight dirty, but a dominant wrestler like Hendricks, I really wished or hoped that Brown would have kept his distance and used more rangy strikes against him,
Dude,
and
yeah.
and Hendricks
The
too,
thing
man. I
is
mean,
you're not gonna. He was moving forward, man. The thing with Hendricks is he wasn't backing up. He was moving forward in the fight, and he was pushing everything. So Matt Brown was reacting the whole time. He never got. Dude, Hendricks basically. I think I said it on the stream earlier. If that Hendricks shows up to fight, you know, on all of his fights, I don't think there's not a person in the welterweight that can even come close to beating him straight up.
I mean, you know what I think about Johnny Hendricks. I'm not exactly a fan of the guy, but he is
I mean,
dominant
that's
when he
incredibly
wants to
hard to
wrestle.
beat. That's
Yeah,
incredibly hard to beat.
it
And even
is.
Robbie Lawler, people, you could make the argument that Robbie lost the title fight.
He
People,
definitely lost the title fight.
yeah, a lot of people think he lost.
He lost. He lost.
I need to watch it again, but
He definitely
that's what I'm
lost.
saying. That's what I'm saying. So he's basically, I think, gonna get that belt back, and I think that it's gonna be tough for anyone to beat him at
Well,
welterweight.
yeah, we'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll
We'll
see.
see
Well,
how
he
it goes.
basically 3 rounds of just takedown domination from
Pretty
Hendricks,
much.
and
Yeah.
that's that fight. Next fight was Carla Esparza versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk
In my opinion,
for the belt.
well, I don't know if I would say that was my favorite fight of the night. Well, it wasn't, but it was one of the most impressive performances I've ever seen in my life. I've never been more impressed with anyone in the UFC than that Joanna chick, dude. Oh my
She
goodness.
maintained composure.
I mean, she was saying it the whole entire time before the fight even happened. She was saying, "My hands are dangerous. My hands are dangerous. Keep your hands up. That no one can stop me." And I mean, I knew her Muay Thai was good, but dude, I didn't know it would be that much of an advantage in the actual fight. I mean,
Well, it was
Carla couldn't do
her takedown defense that won her the fight. Honestly,
yeah, Carla couldn't do a single thing on the feet. She was just shooting desperately over
yeah.
and
After a certain,
over and
literally,
over.
yeah, literally after a certain point, after a certain punch, if you're watching the fight, you're like, this fight's over. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it happened early
Oh
because
man.
she didn't even put her hands up like you said. She was just getting lit up, and it happened
Yeah.
like I think. When did the fight get finished in the second? Yeah.
Yeah, I got finished in the
So in the
second.
first round, she was already done. She was done. She wasn't defending, and it was a good stoppage though by the ref. I
It
mean, it
was a
was
great stoppage.
beat down, and
Yeah, yeah,
those punches were brutal. Even if they're not getting knocked out, like her head was getting rattled around.
yes,
That was like tough to watch toward the
yeah.
end.
Oh my goodness. It just wasn't, it wasn't, yeah, it really wasn't fun to watch. I wanted that fight to be stopped way earlier than it did. It was like just watching a little kid getting destroyed by a striker. It is, I mean,
Yeah, it was
she's five
really
foot one. She's 5'1", man. 5'1", going up against a 5'6" Muay Thai kickboxing
yeah, and she
champion. It's,
used that height. Like she
yeah.
used. It looked when they were in there, both kind of in fighting stance,
Mhm.
she looked way taller.
Yeah. And I don't know why people hate Carlos so much. I feel bad for the fighter.
Oh, I don't,
Like
I don't, I don't hate her at
bro,
all.
she looks so sad. I don't know if it's because she's nervous or because she's
Oh, you mean
afraid
before
or
the
what.
fight?
Yeah, every time she's about to fight, she just looks so afraid. Like she's so
I
like
think
she's
she said in interviews that it's just the way she sort of, you know, that's the way it is. I mean, certain
she
fighters, it's odd, but
yeah, she's thinking in her head, what am I doing here? What am I? And then when she was getting lit up like that, I'm like, oh man, this feels horrible. Feel so bad for her, but man, I'm gonna
but
tell you
she's
right now.
basically like almost undefeated, wasn't she?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she was on a run. She was a very
Well, she had
dominant
one loss. She had
performance,
one loss.
dude. I'm gonna tell you right now. In my opinion, Joanna, however you say her name, I think she's the best female fighter in MMA. That's my opinion. I think she's the
She's
best female
incredibly good.
fighter. Yeah. And people are already talking about her facing Ronda Rousey. I mean, that's not a fight I want to see ever.
Well, you'd have to build her up a little bit more to
Got a
even.
got a 20-pound difference. That's retarded.
I mean, I can understand why people want to see it because it'd be cool and it'd be champion versus champion, and
Uh,
that'd be great. But I think let her. There's plenty of 115s that are
exactly.
gonna challenge for it. So
Dude, that
that,
division is stacked, bro.
yeah. So the Ronda fight, I don't think you can really talk about it till at least like two more beat downs, from her.
Mhm.
Because at that point, if she does start beating everyone down like that, then yeah, it's a very real
She
fight that
will.
could happen.
No
But
one's gonna beat her, and no one's gonna take that belt. And she's only getting better. And with that takedown defense, dude, I mean, what are you gonna do against a striker like that if you can't get him down?
exactly. Yeah. You saw what happened with that. That's what
Yeah,
happens. It was just craziness.
like you're
So
screwed.
the new atom weight, is it? Isn't atom weight?
Adam,
Is that the name of the
straw.
Oh, it's strawweight. Yeah.
Yeah.
The strawweight champion is Joanna. Wow. Crazy title fight. Gets it done in the second round.
Mhm.
Then the main event, Pettis dos Anjos.
Insanity is what that was. Insanity. Oh my goodness, dude. Oh my God. Those Sanjos just blew my mind. I told you before, the first thing I was extremely impressed with was the fact that he was able to match Anthony Pettis' speed. Like I couldn't tell a difference. I mean, with the kicks, yeah, you could tell that Pettis had, more dexterity and he was better with kicks because of his background in Taekwondo. But with the hands, with the boxing, I couldn't tell a difference at all. Dos Anjos was throwing those punches so fast, so powerful, so technical, man. It was Pettis was shocked. You could see in his face that he couldn't believe what was going on. Like when he was getting hit,
Hmm.
he couldn't believe that was happening. And with the pressure, the forward movement, the fact that he didn't let Pettis get any space to do anything, that it just man, 5 rounds of complete domination.
Yeah, and
Ah,
I think he said he landed that one punch to the eye like in the first round,
yeah,
I think.
yeah, he did. It was a hook. It was a left hook, right on Pettis's right eye, and that was it, man.
Do you think that affected him a lot during the fight?
Of course, man. I mean, when you can't
Yeah.
see out of one eye, I mean, you gotta see punches coming, and Dos Anjos was smart. He kept going to that same side over and over again. He kept going to that side with the
Yeah.
kicks. So it was really hard for Pettis to see those kicks coming from that side. So, but I mean, I think he would have lost that fight regardless, whether his eye was hurt or not, because Dos Anjos was in better shape. He was a better mixed martial arts fighter in that fight. He was doing everything. He was throwing kicks, he was throwing punches, he was throwing elbows, he was using the clinch, takedowns, even jujitsu, dude.
Yeah.
Man, took us back a few times. I thought he was gonna tap him out.
Yeah. That it was a incredible game plan,
Yeah.
incredible yeah. The
Did
way
did
he
you
set up the
think
takedowns.
did you think Pettis would be that like clueless?
Well, I think this is how I explained it in the stream just a while ago. I
Hmm.
said I think what it is the thing with Pettis is the same sort of thing that happened with Machida. Like for a
Hmm.
while, no one knew how to beat Machida, like everyone they couldn't figure him out.
Hmm.
But then after a while, they sort of figured out how to, you after you certain see guys beat him by decision, it's sort of like what people have been trying to how to beat him. They keep trying. They take little things off each fight, and then eventually now you could beat Machida, and then I think that is like now they. So I think RDA's camp was like they took little things like they saw that Gilbert could back him up to the fence,
Yes.
and then they
Benson.
saw the Guida fight,
Yeah, Guida literally laid out the blueprint right there.
and they took little things, but yeah, Pettis did get better in all this, but he sort of did do this.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, he was trying to counter him, like he was trying to play that counter game, and it could have worked. It could easily work. That's the thing, like it can work because it just takes one strike with him, one
Hmm.
kick to the body, and that's
Hmm.
all it takes. So I think that's what he was doing. Definitely the first round. Because he does have, because that literally is. I mean, how many people has he finished with just one kick?
Exactly. Yeah.
So he was
Yeah.
looking for that. I mean, he's looking
Yeah.
for that ender that's just going to be. He's looking for the opening, waiting for. He knows if he sees it, and with the speed, it's over. So, but Rafael stayed on him and stayed offensive and you know,
Yes.
didn't
I
let
just
him do
man,
that.
honestly, like all these strikers in the UFC, Edson Barbosa, Junior Dos Santos, Anthony Pettis, all these guys who it seems like when you pressure them, it works really well. I think that their biggest problem is that when they're training wrestling, they're training mostly defensive wrestling. How can I stop takedowns so that I can do what I do very well, so that I can strike? I think they need to start working on their offensive wrestling also. Because Pettis, for one, it was just mostly let me defend takedown so I can stand on my feet and strike. I feel like if he mixed it up better, like if he shot for his own takedown, try to clinch up with Dos Anjos, muscle him to the cage, put him against the cage, just initiate grapple, attempts. I feel like he would have been a lot more successful instead of just trying to defend takedowns
Yeah,
because his takedown defense is not even like it's not legendary. It's not like a Jose Aldo kind of takedown defense. You know what I mean?
yeah,
He gets taken down. I feel
yeah.
like
And I think though that he doesn't mind getting taken down, and he sort of was doing the
too
same thing
bad.
on the ground. He was like doing the same thing on the ground as he was doing on the feet. He was like looking for that counter, or he was looking for that submission, and he really was happy with just being in his guard.
Dude, imagine what what's his name? Habib would have done to Pettis. I mean, I'm watching this right now and I'm thinking in my head, imagine what Habib would have done to that guy.
Yeah, you definitely it's
Man.
Habib is a little bit reckless though sometimes coming in.
Hmm.
So Pettis could catch him. The thing is with Pettis, even with Habib, even with RDA, even if they do the fight, if they did this matchup multiple times,
Hmm.
it could go. It's one of those things where it could go. If you put Pettis in there, he can land a kick on you, and the fight will be over. So
Yeah.
Pettis is always gonna be going for the title, I think, and he, you
Yeah,
know,
I mean, of course. He's definitely gonna be right back in, he's gonna be right back there as soon as possible. He's gonna go back to the drawing boards and he's gonna fix things. I just think he needs to add in offensive wrestling. He needs to realize that he's not just Showtime. He wants to be so flashy that he forgets that it's MMA. Sometimes you gotta grind. Sometimes you gotta do
yeah.
things in there that is not pretty. You know what I
And with
mean?
some people, you can't just wait for that counter. That's
Yes.
that's that's
Yes.
the thing too. And he wasn't. You could just see it. He was happy to be against the fence. He didn't
Yeah.
mind, but
It,
he was just
it, it,
hoping. He was hoping that RDA would make a mistake basically. And
or gas out or
yeah,
slow down.
he was waiting on RDA to give him an opening. But I think he and he never really got out of that.
Yeah, and RDA said it, man. He said it. He said, "Look, I'm not going in there to try to hold him. I'm not going in there to try to play it safe. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna punch this guy. I'm gonna hit this guy. And when he feels my power, he's gonna know that he's in a fight." And that's exactly what happened. Man, he was throwing bombs, bruh.
Yeah, he
He was throwing.
was.
Oh my goodness, he was winging bombs.
And that's
Those
the thing.
those.
That's the
Oh
thing. Like you, Pettis is quick and he can move and he can dodge stuff, but that is a you know he knocked out Benson Henderson. It was a little early stoppage, but still he
yeah, yeah.
knocked that dude like off his feet almost.
Yeah, yeah. He's powerful. He's a powerful fighter. And dude, to think that this guy a while back was losing fights left and right, and now he just came back and who did he beat? He beat Benson Henderson. He beat Cowboy Cerrone. He beat Nate Diaz, and now he beat Anthony Pettis. Dude,
Insane.
what wow, what a track record, dude.
And no one thought it would happen. I know.
Yeah.
Did you didn't you've had
No.
Pettis picked?
Yeah,
Yeah, I had
dude.
him picked too. I mean, I think basically everyone.
I had Pettis knocking him out in like round two.
Yeah, my predictions were literally completely wrong, except for the one quick thing I said at the end of the my prediction video. I said I think the person who was fighting Sergio Pettis would beat him,
Mhm,
um, Benoit
mhm.
and Ryan Benoit, I think, and that was the only fight I was right on. I was literally wrong on every single fight. Every fight I picked wrong.
I was right I was wrong with the Overeem fight 100%. I thought Roy Nelson would knock him out round number one. I thought that would just be the easy win for Roy Nelson. I was wrong on that. I was wrong with Pettis. I wasn't wrong with Carla and Joanna. I knew that she was gonna lose for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it
And
was
yeah,
crazy, crazy fights though for sure. Crazy fights, crazy card. I want to watch the whole thing again, honestly.
me too. I watched that Pettis fight again, and I still can't believe it happened. Amazing, dude.
Oh, yeah, I need to watch it again too. Yeah,
But how about this, though? How about this? Pettis graceful in defeat.
oh yeah,
100%
dude.
graceful in defeat. I like seeing that, dude. I love seeing that.
Yeah, he
After
said
he
no, no,
lost,
no excuses. Yeah, that's
yeah,
it.
yeah, it was like this guy came in here and he was the better man. Period. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna try to get
Yeah,
better.
and
I
you could
like
just
that.
tell you could just tell by the way he was talking that he just can't wait to freaking like
Yes,
get back.
yes.
You could tell he was pissed. It was like he
Lit a
was pissed
fire.
off.
Yeah, lit a fire under him. And man, this is the kind of fight that Pettis needs. I mean, he had it. He got this fight once against Guida, and he thought that he's moved past that. But he needed someone like Dos Anjos to do this to him, make him
Hmm.
realize, dude, you have holes in your game, bro.
Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, dude, he's got massive holes in his game. He needs to do something to cover that thing up. He needs to learn how to grind.
I
Look at John
like
Jones.
RDA's ground and pound too.
Me too.
It's
Me too.
that guy. His ground and pound is good.
Yes, it's amazing, dude.
And that's not an easy thing because there's not a lot of people who are that effective at like you could even the Hendricks fight like he wasn't really doing the same sort of damage.
Hmm.
So it's definitely hard to do that and he had good ground and pound, man.
It comes from one, the cardio, two, his superior jujitsu. And like Joe Rogan was saying in the fight, like the whole time, RDA was just so many steps ahead of Pettis. It's like before Pettis even attempts something, he knows exactly what could go wrong. So he was prepared the whole entire time. So he was really confident on the top. He knew that he wasn't gonna get caught with something. So he was free to just let those things go. It's like watching GSP dominate Nick Diaz on the ground. He just steps ahead like a chess match, you know. So
Hmm.
it's like the same thing you see John Jones do when he gets that top position. It's like you see this confidence in him that he knows, okay, even if I get caught, I can power out of it. I'm good. And same with Cain Velasquez, man, vicious,
Yeah,
vicious
that style, that pressure style is really becoming just the way to go, it seems like.
cardio, bro, cardio. It's a weapon. It's a weapon in mixed martial arts, man.
And it's
It's
also
a
the
weapon.
yeah, but they're not just like sitting in there not moving forward with the cardio. They're
Mhm.
actually
Yeah,
they're pushing it. They're the
yeah,
ones the aggressor. They're moving forward. They're pushing them
yeah.
back. Who? So it's like Kane. Um, I mean, a lot of people are using that style.
You know someone else who's doing that now? Who the guy that just beat Edson Barbosa? What's his name? Your boy.
Oh, Michael Johnson.
Yes, dude. I am loving what he's doing now. Loving that pressure style. And you see that style is working on these Muay Thai fighters. It's working on these elite strikers. Same thing with Anderson Silva. When you start backing these guys up and you start putting them against the cage, it's like the whole counter striking thing, man. They can't generate enough power to
Yeah, it's
do
like
damage.
the best defense is a good offense.
Yes, man. Push these guys back. And I think that's what Khabib is going to do to Donald Cerrone. I mean, Cowboys counter striking is horrible. It's atrocious, man. I mean, he's good when he's moving forward, but when he's backing up, he doesn't do anything. And I
Yeah,
I just
that was I was a little bit. It was just like his movement. He was kind of just standing still.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But hey, it is what it is. That is a fight. RDA completely dominates Pettis, takes the belt, and he'll be fighting. Didn't they say Khabib next?
No, he'll be fighting the winner of Khabib
Oh
versus
yeah,
Cowboy.
yeah. Which there's no guarantee who's gonna win that either. But
Exactly. It's not like Khabib is, like he's going in there in an easy fight. Cowboy is a
I think
he's
Khabib's gonna win the fight though.
Yeah, I'm definitely I'm picking Khabib to win too, but
If
I
Cowboy wins, that would be the craziest thing ever though.
Cowboy just needs to realize that he can't go in there thinking, "Oh, I'm just gonna defend takedowns and strike." No, 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 no. You will lose that fight 100%. You
Hmm.
can't go in there one dimensional. He needs to go in there like a complete mixed martial artist, and he needs to do everything. If you see an opening to shoot a takedown on Khabib, do it. Do
He's
it.
got to
Don't be
move.
afraid.
He can't be backed up against that fence. That's the
Yes,
main thing.
cannot be. And bro,
Khabib's gonna see, but the thing is like you just meet him in the middle. I mean, these dudes will back Khabib, RDA. They they went in there. It's like they're not gonna back up. Like the only thing that's gonna get them to back up is you just blast them with something.
or you shoot a takedown. That's one way to get someone to back up. You shoot a takedown, push them back. They get up, you shoot another one. Clinch up with them, put them against the cage when they're close to the cage. Knee them, kick them, flying knee. Remain active, match their output, have your conditioning on point. That's the way to do it. If he goes
Yeah.
in there trying to play the little pitter patty, let me just find that. No, he's gonna get put on his back every time.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen.
It's gonna be a good fight, Khabib and Cowboy. I don't know how
Mhm.
soon that is. It's
Not sure.
but I think Khabib is the next champ. I really do. Because
Man,
I think he has the potential to be a huge um you know
like a star.
popular, yeah, like a star, yeah, I think.
Hmm. I mean, I do think RDA has improved enough to the point that he could beat Khabib. Like if they were to fight again, because he's experienced it. He knows what Khabib is capable of, and this is gonna be a 5 round fight if they do end up fighting. Give RDA 5 rounds, and he'll figure something out.
I'm
I'm
trying to
confident
find.
in that guy.
Yeah, RDA is going to be tough to beat for sure.
Yes, yes, he will. Oh, how
Um,
about his kid stepping in the octagon though after that win? Wasn't that an amazing? Well, it was awesome, man. It was
yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah, he just won the title. It was amazing.
yeah.
So that is basically all the fights. The next card is next weekend, I think. The 20. It's so that next fight over will probably be next week. UFC Fight Night. Damian Maia versus Ryan LaFlair. And Josh Koscheck is back on the card
Who's he? What the heck?
against Eric Silva.
No way.
Yep.
Did he just get like destroyed? Like got
Yeah, he
choked
he
out?
he fought just recently. This
Wow.
should be a pretty cool card too. There's a bunch of um there's a women's fight and whoa. Yeah, there's a bunch of fights on that card and then so that should be the next episode of Fight Over, but basically there's a lot of good fights coming up. So
Can't wait.
can't wait for that. Thank you guys, everyone. Shout out to everyone who's in the chat. Bobby Green. um, so that is this episode. I'm just gonna cut off